Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VIN3072. This is a salvage title car. You guys always want me to tell you if it is at first, so this is a salvage titled car. VIN3072, this is a 2020 3R1, which is Matador Red Mica, very rare for a 2020. LA20 black interior, and it is at IAAI Insurance Auto Auctions, 42,000 miles in Los Angeles, California. And it looks like it's probably gonna be a parts car, and that's okay, but it runs. And so that's another good thing to see. So this car was at Copart last March. Here it is, March of 2026, and now it's at IAAI. So somebody either bought it, decided they're not gonna fix it, and they're just gonna run it again. But that's the long and short of it. Production statistics, Matador Red Mica. It's a very rare color anyway. There's 106 of them that were produced for the US 49 out of the 2,347 cars, and 89 of those had LA20 black interior. That's 3.7% of all the US 49 production was this color combo, most of them being 2016s. 8 out of 10 for rarity, like it's pretty rare. For 2020 though, there are only 7 of these cars that were Matador Red Mica out of the 187 cars. All 7 of them had LA20 black interior. So you couldn't get this car with the black and white interior with this paint for the US 49. It is definitely a rare bird. Carfax, Epic VIN, and AutoCheck. Carfax shows this as a 4-owner, 2-accident car, with the second being the total loss in March of 2025. Epic VIN shows this as a 7-owner, which I think is wrong, but it's every time it was moved around or run at auction again, it counts it as another owner. 7-owner, 1 accident, which is definitely not correct. And AutoCheck shows this as a 3-owner, 2-accident car with structural, salvage, airbags deployed, severe damage. And it appears to be a 3 or 4-owner car, but it's been in Arizona, Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, and California. So mostly a southern states car. Previous sales. This car was originally owned by Lexus Corporate. It has option D7 ticked on the option box, which means delivery straight to Toyota or Lexus when it was new. Sometimes it gets dealer prepped, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it gets titled, sometimes it doesn't. This appears to have been, if it wasn't a driving school car, it was a press car. I don't think it was an auto show car, and because when I got into the service history, it explained a lot of it. It has cracked rotors, overheated rotors, and needed new brakes at 7,000 miles. If it was a track car, a driving school car, it's usually new brakes every 500 to 1,000 miles. So I don't think it was a driving school car. If it was, it could have been like a low-speed parking lot one. But either way, it has an early history with Lexus and doesn't really matter anymore because this car is going to be a parts car unless it goes overseas and gets fixed over there or something like that, which that may still happen. I'm skipping the rest of the previous sales because it's not really important anymore how this car ends up. But basically 10 days after the accident, it appears on Copart in Hayward, California. Now it's in Los Angeles, California. It's still the greater Los Angeles area, but it was on Copart. It doesn't look like it was sold. It looks like it was pulled, and then it pops up a year later over here. So I don't know if there was some kind of hold, insurance hold, police hold, something like that. But it had a hold on it. And so now it's here at IAAI in Los Angeles, greater Los Angeles area. Very severe damage. And it, to me, looks like it's going to be a parts car. It has a suspension ripped off, so which tells me that the frame is probably damaged, the cradle, a lot of damage. And all the airbags are deployed, which is extremely expensive. This car has 12 airbags in it, so lots of money, lots of money. So onto the photos. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Front end, undercarriage, suspension, airbags, everything's bent, but hey, it does run. They even provide a video. Doesn't sound very good, but it runs. And so you basically have a 42,000 mile drivetrain. You have a 2020 with telematics units. You have 3 good brakes. You have 3 good wheels. Some miscellaneous interior parts like the carbon fiber trim. You know, there is a lot of value still on this car, especially because it runs. So as far as the price goes, I think this being a 2020 and it's a runner, I think this car's still gonna probably fetch some pretty strong numbers. I would suspect this car is probably gonna be in excess of $20,000 even as it sits. And I think that it's Likely to end up going overseas like so many of these have done lately. The market over there for these cars is absolutely insane. I've talked to a couple guys from Poland about these cars, and they can buy these cars 20, 30,000 here, and they sell rebuilt over there for like $60,000 or $70,000 or more. And I mean, that's why they have no hesitation spending $20,000 or $30,000 on these wrecked cars, because there's such a market over there for them. They're very rare over there. So now into the service history. This car was pretty well dealer serviced too. April of 2021, they put a new blind spot monitor slave ECU on it, and that was usually indicative of there being a rear impact somewhere. June of 2021, 7,300 miles, certified pre-owned prep for L certified. They noted that the rotors are stress cracked, the brakes were worn, and 4 new tires. Press car or low-speed track car. February of 2022, something going on with the blind spot monitor system again. May of 2022, blind spot monitor yet again, and they declined the repair that time. September of 2022, 29,000 miles, the right rear shock was leaking, so that's pretty common to see on the 17 through 20s. Blind spot monitoring issue yet again. This time they removed the bumper and they found body damage. Well, so tells me that probably something happened maybe on the track or by a press, whoever had it. They had it repaired, didn't say anything to Lexus, put it back together, and not my problem. But has some unreported damage to the rear. You know, kind of important when you're looking at this car that was damaged in the front for what else is good on it. Has some damage in the rear. October of 2022, they replaced all 4 brake calipers. This car originally had black calipers and they wanted the blue calipers. So it's OEM calipers, you know, either off of another 2020 or a 2019 anniversary. It's the same part, but they're blue. There is a note from that entry that states that the radio receiver was having problems and they need to replace the entire radio assembly. That is extremely expensive on these cars. And I think the last time I looked, it's like $11,000 or $12,000 for the radio assembly, just something stupid expensive that nobody's gonna pay. Of course, this car's under warranty. So guess what? It's gonna get a new one. A couple days later in October of 2022, replaced the radio. As I said, like somewhere between $8,000 to $10,000, $12,000 for that. And they noted that the carbon fiber was delaminating on the interior trim on the front dash panel and all 4 door panels. And they sent pictures to Lexus to see what they were going to do about it. So this car would have still been under bumper-to-bumper warranty at the time. November of 2022, install an aftermarket exhaust. Doesn't say what it was, but at one point this car had an aftermarket exhaust. May of 2023, replaced all of the carbon fiber trim pieces and noted to be careful with the wheels. The customer is very picky. Those are my kind of people. And I can imagine between radio and carbon fiber trim and everything else under warranty, I could go pull that on Service Lane or TIS and see, but this car has probably had $20,000+ worth of warranty replacement just for that, and pretty impressive. May of 2023, coolant flush. Good to see that that's done early. October of 2023, 32,000 miles, reinstall the OEM exhaust. So it had an aftermarket exhaust on it for 11 months. June of 2024, 36,000 miles, that's the last service. Oil change, customer supplied oil and filter. Pretty well serviced for a car that you're looking at for a drivetrain. That's what you like to see. So it's got everything that I would want to see done. It's been serviced. As long as there's no other damage on the front. Usually when these cars get hit on the front thermostat housing, which is on the passenger side front, those will get cracked and start leaking. And that's easy to replace as long as it didn't damage any part where it connects to the head. I don't think that would be the case here, but be something to look at if you're buying this car, if you go inspect it. The passenger side is the external transmission cooler. Driver's side is the external oil cooler. Headlights are expensive, grills are expensive. Everything else on this car, all the airbags are very expensive. I think for a parts car, it definitely has the makings of being a good one for that. And, you know, so if you can pick it up for cheap enough, you know, it may be an all right buy, but it's definitely well serviced, and it's a 2020, which is the last year most desirable amongst people looking for these cars. 3072, VIN 3072. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.